Hello baby queers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for some genderqueer TikToks. To be honest, it's mostly gender fluid and non-binary in general. So, before we get started though, you know the drill. Go get hydrated. Grab some water or some tea or whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll get started on the TikToks. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Starting strong with policing each other's identities, I see. Like, I get to an extent that being like binary trans or something is easier for people to understand because it doesn't break their concept of, oh, two genders. Like, binary trans people are probably like easiest to understand for like cis people. But just because you don't understand something or because you don't experience something, again, doesn't really mean it's not a thing. You know? I shouldn't need to say it, but apparently I do. Not gonna lie, I kind of thought the mother would just like disappear completely. I'm glad she didn't, but she still looks very shocked. Oh my god, she looks shocked. Like, your brother, super accepting, really nice, took you to get a haircut, that's really cool. Your cousin, totally chill. Your mother doesn't seem on board yet. I hope she just needs a moment, because like a lot of people do just kind of need a moment to get used to it in a way. So I'm hoping she'll come around. If not, I'm glad you at least still have your brother and your cousin to support you. Does it just depend on the day? Kind of feels like it depends on the day type situation. Because if you're feeling very masculine and just presenting very masculine, and they're a guy, it seems kind of gay. This question, I swear to God, man. But that kind of seems like a you problem, you know? And circling back to, this is why being bi or pan just kind of makes so much more sense, because you just don't need to worry about it. You just don't need to worry about it, you know? And also, I think all gender fluid people just wish they were really good with makeup, and a lot of them probably are. But it must kind of suck if you're not, because it just makes it easier to present feminine and masculine, because you can kind of contour your face differently. Oh well. I love this hair. It works so well for anything, really, because you can still look very masculine with it somehow, but you can also look feminine with it. I love this hair. Oh my god, I love it. But this is kind of a cool idea. I can just picture someone stumbling crosses who's like a conservative, however they stumbled onto this, and just being really confused and really offended that the youth and their pronouns bullshit, you know? And I love it, and I'm here for it. I think you look really good either way. So, yeah.
Mr. Teddy Bear, are you ready to go to sleep now? There you go, Mr. Teddy Bear. What the fuck were you?
Yeah, that's kind of the thing about being gender fluid, isn't it? Because for some people, it changes very regularly, you know, and for some people, it's kind of like over longer periods of time, and it can like vary a lot, right? Because sometimes you feel a certain gender for 2 days, and then it kind of switches again, but sometimes it's longer. And then if it ends up being one for a month, I can imagine the doubt, because I feel like with all the, oh my god, gender fluid isn't real, you already get bombarded with, it can be so easy to start questioning it again and be like, wait, but what if I'm not? You know, we've been over this in our bisexual video. It's like, if you find yourself attracted to one gender for a while, it can be just so easy to question, like, wait, what if I am actually straight or gay and not bi? And I guess it's the same with being gender fluid. If you just feel one gender and then a different one. Oh my god, I am sorry. It's difficult, but I guess, honestly, the amount of fun you get to have with your gender expression and the absolute confusion you can wreak in conservative people's lives kind of makes up for it, right?
Run, bitch! Run!
Now again, this one I just included because why not? I mean, look at them. They look really good. And I love it when people can pull it off like so completely.
What do you identify yourself as?
She, her. Non-binary, they, them. She, they.
Is anybody else confused? These are just regular women. WOMEN.
Yeah! Why did you have to try so hard to spell that word? It's 5 letters, and you had to take a break and a sit down during the middle. Why are you so sweaty? It's because you were trying to spell the word so hard, you're sitting down. You're sitting still, and you're soaked. What's going on? Also, what's up with your lips? I feel like, why can't you understand the idea of, like, alternate pronouns? Because you've redefined the definition for what lips should look like. Just take it a step further. Go with identity.
Okay, honestly, I kind of get it. I get doing this instead of like trying to logically explain it again. Because I feel like these people, no matter how many times you try to explain it to them, they're still gonna be like, no, I don't like it. That's bullshit. There's only 2 genders and you can't pick and you are what you're born with. You know, the whole you're your genitals type thing. You know what I'm talking about. So honestly, I can understand just going off and having fun with it. Because he kind of has a point. He kind of has a point. Listen, that's the thing that people don't understand. Even cis people do a lot of gender affirming things. And they do a lot of, well, not a lot of, but a lot of cis people still do like gender affirming surgeries, right? Like if you as a cis woman have breast surgery to enhance your boobs to make them bigger, that's still gender affirming surgery. And even cis people constantly change their bodies, whether that's getting filler in your lips or tanning or going to the gym. We all change our bodies so much. So why do you want to come for trans people? Sure, you know, getting genital like reassignment surgery, a bit bigger step. Just be glad you don't need to take that step, okay? Just be glad you don't need it.
Being gender fluid can sometimes feel like you're always questioning yourself because your gender expression is never fixed. It's always shifting. Like some days I think I'm not gender fluid, I'm in fact a woman, and some days I think I'm a binary trans man, and other days I don't feel I have a gender at all. Like, Should I even be giving into gender, even though it's a social construct? It can be tiring and exhausting, always flip-flopping around the spectrum, but I love and value myself for the freedom I have to express however I want.
See, that's what I mean. That's the kind of energy you probably need as a gender fluid person, but it's probably the energy we all need. Because whether that's expressing your gender a certain way or just expressing yourself in general, I feel like a lot of people are kind of shy with it and don't really dare to because it's too different and would stand out too much. Honestly, just go for it. Just go for it. And if it changes, don't be afraid to explore it. You know, like who gives a shit what people are gonna say about it? It's the whole, I want to be feminine in a masculine way, and I want to be masculine in a feminine way, which makes a lot of sense, but to a lot of people it apparently doesn't. But they have a point, you know? They definitely have a point. I'm here for it. I love these kind of videos. It's so funny. It's just funny to me. Because, honestly, it's hard enough to figure out if you actually vibe with your gender or not. But then if it keeps changing, it can be even, frustrating to you. But in hindsight, it's just funny because in hindsight, it always just makes so much sense. Because at some point it just clicks and it's just like, that's why. Right, that's why I did the thing, or that's why I thought like that. Now it makes sense. And I love it. It's so funny. It's so funny.
2 plastic Easter eggs filled with mung beans. 2 Christmas tree ornaments filled with jingle bells. 2 wads of masking tape tied together with a pink ribbon.
Sometimes I regret having eyes. Why would you... Why? Why? I don't even know how old this creator is. After that comment, I feel like I do want to know, just to know how creepy it is, but why would you just randomly post that under someone's video? That's creepy either way. It's creepy either way, but not where I thought that video was going. I was expecting some weird questions about genitals. Sure, yeah, but that's not even a question, but that's not what I was expecting.
I can't fucking trust you! Oh, don't fucking trust me! Shut the fuck up! Hey, you shut up! Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Shut up! I just want shut up! I've been on my rock star shit with a... You scared?
Okay, gender fluid people, as well as non-binary people, as well as any cis person really, doesn't owe you any kind of explanation about their gender expression, or owes you a certain gender expression. If they want to express themselves in a way that is stereotypically masculine or feminine, cool. If they want to not do that and try to express themselves super androgynously, cool. That's their business. And if they feel like dressing or expressing super feminine, when they feel femme. Really, you can't really go off on gender fluid people pushing stereotypes when literally all you do from the second a child is even born is push those stereotypes on them, or even before, being like, okay, now I can't buy blue baby clothes because what if I have a girl? Dude, it's a baby. As long as it's wearing clothes and it's like warm enough, who gives a shit? Oh my god, literally, who cares? And like a colleague of mine bought baby clothes that were like beige or something with like giraffes on them and like other animal type things because they were cute before she knew what gender of baby she was having. And her boyfriend was like super weird about it. I was like, well, now we have to have a boy because girls can't wear animals or something. Y'all do that type of shit, but then complain that gender fluid people are enforcing stereotypes when they express themselves super femininely when they feel like a woman that day. What are you doing? Literally, who gives a shit? Can we please stop forcing gender stereotypes on people and also policing each other's identities and expressions? That'd be cool. I think I would have just cycled the or. But I get that as a gender fluid person, it's tricky. But I'm non-binary. The or kind of fits. It kind of fits.
I just realized something. I had a bad childhood.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean you know?
Look at you.
What do you mean look at me?
Look at how you stand. People who had good childhoods don't stand like that.
Yeah, that's fair. Most cis people are fairly consistent with the way they dress. So I think they have a point when they say, yeah, we know. We know. I mean, honestly, even if you're cis and you want to express your gender differently on different days, go off. You know, just honestly, who cares? But yeah, most of these cis people aren't gonna change the way they dress that often.
Unfair things non-binary people have to deal with.
And she...
Oh, I go by they, them pronouns.
Right. So you're one of those. I don't believe you're non-binary.
Why?
Because you dress so feminine.
What?
Boys to the left, girls to the right.
Sir, I don't identify as male or female.
Well, science says otherwise, so go stand with the girls.
I'm just gonna use she, her pronouns for you. It's easier for me. But she, her pronouns make me uncomfortable.
Answer my questionnaire.
Yeah, sure. You've only got male and female on this.
Oh, I am sorry that I didn't put a tack helicopter on there.
I'm so glad. Well, in a way, glad that I didn't know I was non-binary back in school. In hindsight, I feel like I probably should have known because it's one of those things like I should have known. But I would have been way too awkward to even bring up the fact that I'm not. So I just suffered in silence and was uncomfortable, which probably isn't better. Oh well. But honestly, I love when people are like, well, if you're non-binary and you dress super feminine, you can't be non-binary. As if that makes sense. But then, if you're gender fluid and you express yourself super femininely, it's also wrong. Y'all need to either make up your mind, or better yet, keep your damn opinion to yourself. Who gives a shit? If they want to dress super femininely, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? You know? And honestly, being non-binary is kind of exhausting sometimes. Because you constantly get that. You know? And I want to say you kind of get used to it, because you do, in a way. But that doesn't mean it's still not, like it doesn't actually become that much less frustrating or exhausting, really.
Things not to say to non-binary people. I'm watching you. Well, which gender are you actually? They, them, you're not two people. Yeah, well, they're more of a person than you. But you're not androgynous enough. Yeah, well, I identify as a helicopter. Yeah, well, you should identify as a dumpster. That's you!
Yeah, I think making up funny comebacks for these types of situations is probably appropriate, you know? Because otherwise you're gonna stand there like her and be like, well, you should, they're more of a person than you are, which honestly would definitely be me. Like, even if I were to like pick up or like pick out things I want to say, in that moment I would probably just be too annoyed or too flustered to even do it. But honestly, I like the dumpster comeback, you know?
Hi, my name is Luck, and I'm non-binary. I got into this debate with one of my cis friends who happens to just be a little bit ignorant about people like me. And I thought it'd be interesting to kind of recreate that. So you're they, them? No, I'm non-binary. Oh, like the third gender thing? No, it's more like a lack of gender. What do you mean? The binary is what our civilized society deems what is a man and what is a woman. Non-binary is saying fuck you to the standards and limitations of being either one of these binaries. Just being human, just letting yourself do as you please without expectations or limitations or social standards.
And that is why we hate people putting or like trying to create new standards for non-binary people of being like, oh, you have to be androgynous, or you can't express too femininely, or you can't do this and you can't do that. Bullshit. Just do whatever the fuck you want. Honestly, even if you identify as a woman or a man, do whatever the fuck you want. Literally, just, why do people care so much about what other people do with their lives? You know, whether that's a certain hobby that they don't get because it's too masculine for a woman or whatever. Or being like, oh, let me do that for you. You know, like, honestly, I hate gender stereotypes. I've always hated it. It always makes me so mad. Well, since this video comes out in time for Christmas, I hope y'all still have enough time to get a water gun for Christmas. In case your conservative family members decide to misgender you constantly, just spray them with water, or get like an air horn, or like a squeaky dog toy, which isn't as loud, but it's also just gonna annoy the shit out of people. But spraying them with water, still kind of funnier. So go for it. You have to teach them somehow, and if it works for training cats, it will probably also work for training your family members. You know, at least in your presence, they're gonna be so careful not to misgender you anymore because they're so sick of having wet clothes. Go do it.
Say an 11-year-old says they're non-binary. All that entails, like, you just say, like, okay, I'm calling them they, them for a while.
Sure.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it. They're dressing different. They're wearing clothes. Maybe they're cutting their hair. The fact that it's not what you're used to, it's nothing. Sure. It's absolutely nothing.
And let's say that kid is like, for that kid, it's a fad for them. Then
Fine.
like all fads, I went through a skater boy phase. I went through a golf phase, and my mom threw away some of the clothes that I bought because she hated them so much. But it's like, just let me wear them, and if I'm not into this, I'll move on.
And by the way, if a parent just tries to push against it, that's only going to reinforce it more, you know?
Definitely. I think it's one of those things where, you know, it's like maybe when the parent does it, like if they really want the kid to stop doing something, the parent needs to do it too.
Right.
So maybe the parent should.
Exactly. We're both transitioning too. We're supporting you. Like, they're like, fuck it. I'm straight. I'm super straight.
I mean, they have a point. They have a point. I don't know their pronouns, so I'm just gonna call literally every person on this channel they, them, probably. But they have a point. Because literally, for children transitioning, which everyone seems to be so afraid of, because we're cutting up children or whatever, it's bullshit. The only thing they're cutting is their hair, maybe. And sure, they're changing their clothes. Maybe you call them a different name or different pronouns. That's literally all transitioning is for a kid. That's all it is. And yeah, maybe for some kids, they just wanted to see what it's like, and maybe it is a fad for them. Cool. then they'll eventually just like grow their hair out again or cut it off again if they've been growing it out. Who gives a shit? You know, honestly. I mean, kids grow so much, you need to buy new clothes constantly anyway, so what does it matter if you have to buy more masculine and more feminine clothes for a while? You know, if they want to try it. Who cares? Literally. But honestly, this approach of the parents should transition to... it's kind of funny, but it's literally true. If the parent tries to push against it and just be like, no, you're not allowed to, the kid wants to do it more. Trust me. To be fair, it still works for me. Like, if people tell me not to do something, I immediately want to do it more. I never grew out of it. Will I ever? Probably not. But for kids especially, like, what kid is going to be like, oh, my parents don't want me to do it? Well, now I'm not going to do it anymore. No kid is going to do that. Come on.
I don't completely feel like a woman internally. I think I might be non-binary.
What do you mean you're not a woman? Of course you are. That's stupid.
It's a real thing. I want to use they, them pronouns.
There is no way I'm calling you them. You were born female.
Biological sex, or sex assigned at birth, is different than gender. Birth sex refers to your chromosomes, hormones, and genitals, but gender is a societal construct with expectations based on your culture. Gender identity is how you feel internally.
I internally miss my daughter.
I want you to respect my choices and love me for me, but I don't need your approval.
You've come a long way. I'm proud of you.
It means a lot that you support me.
Oh. Hello? Yes, they are right here.
See, this is what I mean. Some people just need time. Because especially if it's like completely new for them, if they haven't heard of non-binary, or even like being bisexual, because apparently some people have managed to not hear about it, they're going to be like super against it at first. Because it's just new to them and people are just afraid of new things. Because it's dangerous or whatever, I don't know. But sometimes they'll come around. If they don't, it sucks if you were close to them before, I'm sorry, but you don't necessarily need anyone's approval. You know, you don't need it. But of course it's nice to have a support system of people who appreciate you for who you are, right? So it's great if they come around. I'm really sorry if they don't. I hope you can kind of sort of distance yourself from them for a while, because it really sucks if you have to be around them constantly and they're this unsupportive. So if you safely can, you know, you might want to distance yourself for a while and kind of see what happens, you know, if they like come around, if they learn a little bit. But yeah, good luck, I guess.
So did you pick your non-binary name yet? I got some ideas. Let's hear them. I was thinking maybe Bowie or Ziggy. Whoa there, rock star. Or Frog. Or maybe even Gemini. An amphibian. Or your astrological sign. Good choice. Or BJ, because it's my dead name initial plus my middle initial. Easy to remember.
Brittany Jessica Jameson? Is Brittany here?
Oh, I don't go by that anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you prefer?
Oh, it's Blue. It's Blue. Yeah.
All right, Blue.
Okay, Rockstar or no, I actually really like Ziggy as a name. It's kind of cool. But I also love the chaotic energy of just picking anything at random. Honestly, as long as you feel comfortable with it, who cares? But it's just kind of funny. And I wish you all a very supportive teacher like this, that just writes the new name down in the class roster so the other teachers will see it as well. Nice.
Seen a ghost? I was over on the bench. I was over on the bench. I was over on the bench. I was sitting over on the bench. I was over on the bench. I made a salad with craisins. Hello, I'm Chip Mulaney. I'm your father. But sometimes he would be gay. Ever been to the goddamn zoo? I used to smoke crack.
Yes. The constant confusion of where it looks. Did I snap at someone recently in a bathroom? Because they were giving me the weird looks already, and I was so sure they were going to make some weird comment about if I know I'm in the men's bathroom. Did I snap at them and in my deepest possible voice say, yeah, I know I'm in the men's bathroom, or like, I know I'm in the right bathroom or something? Yes. Were they drunk? Probably. Did they forget about it? I hope. But anyways, the constant weird looks, like in bathrooms, I am very much not here for it. Because I kind of have this, I don't know how irrational it is, but I kind of have this fear of kind of getting hate crimed in a bathroom. So in bathrooms, really don't appreciate it. In other situations, I find the weird looks very hilarious because people are so confused. They just look at me and they're just like, I can't tell. I can't tell. And I'm here for it. Because for me, most people seem to think I'm a girl until I open my mouth. So that's kind of funny because they're expecting like, oh, girl, woman, and then I open my mouth and it's just like, hi, how you doing? I'm here for it. It's one of the things I was most excited for with T. Yeah, because before I just got called she, her constantly. And now people at least get confused when I speak to them. Although my telephone voice is apparently still so high that some people seem to think I'm a woman still. But only some people. That's the thing about gendering people. You will go from being gendered as a woman to a man in the span of like 5 minutes. And some people are like, I don't understand why people will call you she, her. And then someone walks past and it's like, hi girls, how you doing? How? It still makes no sense. So I guess my point is, don't give a shit about what other people think. Just express yourself in the way you want to and you feel comfortable. Because there are people who are going to gender you correctly and there are people who are going to misgender you. And I know it sucks really badly if you get misgendered constantly, but honestly, who cares? Who cares? At the end of the day, you know your gender and it doesn't really matter too much what other people think. Yes. So, that was all the TikToks. I hope you had your water or your drink. If not, go drink it now. And I'll be back in 3 days with more entertaining memes and TikToks.